Right now at 6, a school in Oxford will have to wait to start their summer vacation a little later this year. We're going to have a closer look at the reason why with Fox 61's Glenn Kittle. He's going to have a live update for us in just a few minutes.
Also this morning, a man accused in a deadly Christmas Day hit and run is expected to appear in court today. Fox 61's Kayla Cade will have the details on the case and what we're expecting in court. That's later on this morning. But first, we want to say happy Wednesday. We are halfway through the work week, cruising closer to the weekend and a warmer day. Joining us on Fox 61, thanks for being here. I'm Bridget Bureau.
And America Areas, thanks for starting off your day here. We do have several school delays this morning to tell you about, just to name a few. Hamden, Middletown, and West Haven Public Schools, they are running on a 2-hour delay. There are others. You can see them scrolling at the bottom of your screen, and the full list of delays is also on our website and also on the Fox 61 News app. It's going to be a warmer day, though, despite the delay. That is going to burn off, hopefully all that ice and some snow, because we've got a lot of it piled up.
We have a lot of it out there. We need Mother Nature to help us out a little bit.
Yes.
And over the coming days, we'll definitely get that, as temperatures will get well above that freezing point today and tomorrow, and more so for really the rest of the week. We're not expecting this brutal cold. Satellite and radar picture now. I looped this the last 6 to 8 hours, and you can see we did have a burst of snow, sleet, and a little bit of mix across parts of the state, leading to those icy spots this morning. So watch those first steps out the door. They may be a bit tricky, and even those untreated surfaces. We are slightly warmer than this time yesterday, depending on where you are, anywhere from 4 to about 13 degrees warmer. Today, 22 degrees in Hartford right now. In Willimantic, it's 22. We're sitting in the upper 20s and lower 30s along the shoreline. So for the kids at the bus stop, plan for sunny skies once that sun comes up here in the 6 o'clock hour. Temperatures will be around 25 degrees, a few clouds building in. We also have a bit of a breeze going to kick in later on today, too. So while temperatures will range in the upper 30s and right around 40 degrees across parts of the state, it may feel slightly colder with that wind chill at times. 40 in Waterford, 40 in Norwich, and 38 degrees in Pomfret. So might be a good idea to dress for the mid 30s. So while we do have those icy spots this morning, it'll make way to better conditions in the afternoon. Temperatures around 40 degrees. We're going to drop the numbers into the 20s for Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. We're back up into the mid 30s. So we have 30s on the way for Thursday and Friday, although we are dry. We'll talk a little bit more about where we go from here at your full 7-day coming up. Here at 6:02, we are largely fine across the state now. We did have an earlier crash over in Farmington. That has cleared for the morning commute. So taking a look here from Waterbury into Hartford, eastbound 84 and westbound, you're looking at about a half-hour drive this morning. Slight delays from Naugatuck into Seymour at 17 minutes. Erica.
Thanks. 6:03 now, and the recent sub-freezing temperatures have taken a toll on one school in Oxford. Oxford Public Schools says that Quaker Farm School is going to be closed today so that crews can make repairs to some damaged pipes. We have Fox 61's Glenn Kittle live in Oxford with what we know about happened there, but also with the school closing today, it's really changing up the end of the school year. This is going to affect a lot of people.
Yeah, good morning, Erica. We have been seeing crews all morning long pull up to the school and go inside. It's HVAC companies that are coming in to fix the pipes that were broken during that deep freeze. And just as you said earlier, this is going to affect the end date to the school year. I'll take a step out of the way so you can see exactly what we have going on here. Oxford Public Schools says that device in the front there, that's a generator that they've brought in to get power to the school. We know that they were able to get heat inside the school as well with some ancillary devices. So definitely some good news for the school here, and as well as those crews that are inside going to stay warm while they're completing these repairs. We are being told that the power outage over the weekend did lead to all of these problems, and then that led to the pipes freezing. Now, school is going to reopen on Thursday, but on a 3-hour delay. There's also going to be no pre-K that day, so definitely a heads up for the parents out there if you haven't already heard about that plan. Now, this does push back the last day of school, but only for the Quaker Farm School. Every other school is going to end on June 11th this year because of the 2 school days they had to make up for the snow. But here at Quaker Farms, they're going to have to make up 4 school days. So their end date is now June 17th. So definitely some big shakeups here for parents and students that attend Quaker Farms. We're going to keep you updated on everything we know so far about the repairs being made, and also keep you updated on anything about closings or openings if they have any updates there. Live in Oxford, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks for the update. Yeah, it's really going to throw a wrench in some families' plans at the end of the school year.
And 6:05 is your time now. The man who turned himself in after a deadly hit-and-run crash on Christmas in Hartford is expected to appear in court today. Tyron Davis was behind the wheel when he hit a Toyota Camry. That crash killed a 14-year-old boy. Fox 61's Kayla Cade is joining us live from Hartford this morning, and she has more details on the case. Kayla, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, that 14-year-old boy was named Malachi James, and his families met on Monday night to urge city leaders to make Hartford roads safer. The crash happened on Christmas Day on Cornwall Street around 9:15 p.m. according to police. They say Tyron Davis was driving a Cybertruck when he exited his lane while attempting to pass another car and entered oncoming traffic while speeding. Police say he left the scene before officers arrived and later turned himself in nearly 2 weeks later. Inside the car he hit was 14-year-old Malachi James, a 3-year-old who suffered 2 broken arms and a broken collarbone, and a father whose life is teetering in the balance. And that's according to the state's attorney. There has been several deadly traffic crashes in the last few months in Hartford, and that's why James's family wants local leaders to pass a new resolution to save lives. A family member spoke on his mother's behalf and said this resolution would honor Malachi's legacy.
I am standing before you to support this resolution because what happened to my son wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call. No mother should ever have to experience the soul-crushing pain of burying her child.
Now, we did learn that Davis has 11 pending charges unrelated to the ones regarding the Christmas Day hit-and-run crash. Among these charges are drug possession and distribution, as well as gun, assault, and vehicle-related charges. And Davis is being held on a bond for $2.5 million. If he was to post bail, he is expected to be monitored by GPS and also cannot drive. Again, he is expected to be in court later today. In Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
It's a terrible crash, Kayla, and to happen on Christmas Day. Just awful.
Heartbreaking. Yeah. Well, 6:07, we are following developing news here in the search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother. We're talking about 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie in Tucson, Arizona. The Pima County Sheriff's Department and the FBI reportedly detained one person for questioning just hours after the FBI released new images of a possible suspect in that case. Now, that person was detained during a traffic stop about an hour south of Tucson. They have since been released. Yesterday, Savannah Guthrie reposted this footage saying, quote, "We believe she is still alive. Bring her home."
Well, late last night, firefighters were on the scene of a barn fire at the corner of Route 80 and Cedar Swamp Road in Deep River. The extent of the damage is still not clear. We're working to gather more details, and we'll bring them to you once we learn more. At 6:08 this morning, a space heater connected to an extension cord was determined to be the cause of Monday's fire in Willimantic. The fire created massive amounts of smoke and closed down the road for hours. We're told one person was living at the home and they safely got out and called 911. The electrical grid was shut down to avoid any electrical hazards, but was restored once the fire got under control. The building, though, has been deemed a total loss.
An investigation is underway after one person was injured in a shooting last night in Hartford. It happened just before 8 p.m. on Nelson Street. Police say a male in his 30s took himself to the hospital, suffering from a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. And in New Haven, police say a 16-year-old boy was shot yesterday afternoon on Winthrop Avenue. Officers say the teenager is expected to recover. We are waiting to find out what led up to the shooting and if police have made any arrests in this case.
At 6:09 now, police in Windsor Locks are asking for your help this morning in the death of a woman at Bickford Healthcare Center. We've been telling you about this story for days now. They're asking people who might have seen something to come forward as they piece together their investigation. 93-year-old Margaret Healy was found unresponsive outside the facility Sunday morning in the snow. Police said a number of people have been interviewed and the investigation is a top priority. So if you have any information that could be helpful to investigators, definitely contact the Windsor Locks Police Department. They want to hear from you.
6:09, and we continue to follow updates from the concierge apartments in Rocky Hill.
It comes as a week now after people were forced to evacuate their homes after they were deemed unsafe. Here are 3 things you need to know about this developing situation. People in 2 of the buildings were able to move back in recently. There are signs posted that say stop work order due to labor issues. Attorney General William Tong met with a company that managed the apartment complex yesterday, and he said during that meeting, Tong emphasized that JRK, that's the company that owns the complex, needs to get all renters back in their units as quickly as possible. He added they need to develop a plan to ensure this never happens again and to make the situation right for everyone. More than 2,000 renters had to leave their homes and stay elsewhere. And temporarily, those living in the buildings pay at least $1,600 a month for their apartments. Many of them are still not allowed to sleep in them. We spoke with some people who returned home yesterday, and they say just seeing the worry on their neighbors' faces over the past few weeks is hard to watch.
I see them in the morning at the Sheridan where I'm staying. I see them in the breakfast line. I see them in the hallways. You can tell what a displaced concierge resident looks like.
Attorney General Tong says he will continue to work with JRK leadership to reach a resolution. In the meantime, his investigation remains ongoing.